I'm Mike Hayataka. We did quad hooping today, so I'll go back. First thing to remember about quad hooping is we need to think about separating a hand into two different hands, right? I have my finger hand and my thumb hand, okay? So first thing, really get used to holding that right here, right? And you notice, no palm, okay? But if it's okay, palm sometimes. So we're gonna practice that, right? We're here, we're gonna push, catch, push, catch. Really try to like lock in, right? Lock in, okay? Then try isoing, adjust your fingers, okay? And then we're gonna do the opposite, just with the thumb. Remember, you're gonna be straining and your fingers are gonna be all weird. Try to get them tight in, right? Squeeze, using just our thumb to isolate, okay? All right, so, what was the first thing we did? Oh yeah, I'm trying to remember. We talked about the Ocho switch, right? So remember the Ocho grip, 2 in one hand. The normal way that most people do it is this hoop is closer to me in my hand. And remember, if you're looking at your hand, think about it. If I let go of my thumb, the hoop falls. If I let go of my finger, the hoop swings, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to hold with my thumb, let go with my finger, turn and re-grip. Turn and re-grip, okay? Now remember there's two ways. One way where the hoops switch, another way where we do a partial iso, okay? Now remember, we have to practice switching the hoops around, right? So now this hoop is in front, this hoop's behind, and I have to switch to what my fingers and my thumb do. So my fingers are gonna hold, and my thumb is gonna release. Okay? Practice that both ways so you don't have any problems, okay? Then we're going over the 5 basic movements inside of an Ocho grip, okay? So first one, switch, switch. Second one, it's just a twist, okay? Don't forget this, it's so nice, okay? And then we did, what did we do? Isos, right? For the third one, slides for the fourth. Okay, these go well with isos. Okay, and then we did anti-spins. Okay. Ooh, I forgot to go over something. I'll talk about it in just a second. Okay, if you notice, we can only do about 3/4 of an anti-spin pattern. We can't really do the full thing. We'll get into that in a second. So then we just talked about doing 2 different things, 1 different thing with each hand at the same time, right? So let's say I'm going to do a switch here and a twist here, right? Okay, that's a good one. And then let's see, we talked about slide versus iso. Okay. We talked about, let's see, isolation versus anti-spin. Now you'll see when I'm like jamming with 4 hoops, I'm not usually fitting into all of those exact patterns, but I'm always using all of the things that I know from those movements, okay? Don't forget to practice your Ocho at 2 different levels, right? Your Ocho switch, 2 different levels. You get really wound up, that's good. Okay? And then, oh, there's this relationship. So remember, anytime the hoops are overlapped, we just rotate 90. We get to a box, right? Boxes are nice. Rotate 90. Okay, and we can anti-spin through. Right, rotate 90. Okay, oh, a really fun one, remember? Opposite direction isolations. So move a little bit with it. I know that was not clean, but it's okay. And then also, don't forget to mix it up. Okay, all the stuff. Let's see, what else did we do? Missing anything in Ocho stuff?
That's 4 quad thing.
Yeah, we'll do that later. That's not this yet. Okay? Alright. So, next we talked about split same and the iso flower. Okay, so remember for this, there's 4 different spots to do it in. Right here, right here, right here, and right there. Remember, there's 3 different ways. So the first way on my wrist, I can just squeeze really hard, they'll split apart, okay? The second way is where I push the front hoop every beat to keep it split from the one in the back. I can do that in position 2 here, one in the wrist, one in the hand, or I can do it in my hand using just my fingers, just like we did for this exercise, right? But it's all happening in my hand right here, okay? Then we talked about the paddle, right? I'll turn a little bit so you can, okay? There's not really much to talk about this one except for the rhythm. So my hand is going 1-to-1 with one of these hoops. So what I mean by that is the hoops feel like they're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And my hand feels like it's going 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that make sense? When you go to do it, that'll be apparent, okay? Then we talked about the ISO flower. So remember, the most important thing for this is consistent speed. Because really we're doing an extension on our wrist. And the thing that fucks up an extension, sorry, excuse my language, is when we go slow or fast and slow, right? So we need to keep it in a consistent speed. So it doesn't matter how fast I'm going, it matters that my hand is going the same speed, okay? We talked about starting it. I want to isolate this way, by the way. It's a little bit better going this way. So I want to swing to the left, and then isolate, 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 don't stop, okay? Now remember, we want to be able to transition from this into this. The 6 o'clock position is the easiest spot. So we're going to practice doing an isolation and then pushing. Doing an isolation, pushing. Right back into it. Okay? Because we can train by doing this. One push. One push. One push. And then when you're ready, just leave it there. That would push right into that. Okay, we talked about the other way to get into an iso flower. If we start here, we flip up, go right into it. What I'm doing is, I'm holding my finger side hoop, letting go of my thumb side hoop. When I get, imagine I'm going to isolate right here, right? So I'm at the bottom of my isolation. I flip up, I let go of the thumb hoop. When it gets to 6 o'clock, I start my isolation. Okay, so it's going to go up, let go, isolate. All right? It's a really nice way to get into it. Okay? Then we talk about hybriding the different techniques, right? So if I'm isoing here, iso flowering here, get this guy out in a different grip. Try doing these things without making a float face. It's hard. All right? But it's good. It's good practice. It's good for your brain, all right? Then remember, you guys, we talked about basic hand-to-hand hybrids, right? So remember, I got my hand here. From behind, a little bit behind, I have my other hand touching. And we're doing this, right? So, let's go from this to 4 hoops. The first ramp up is this. Pick up another hoop. Okay? Now I have this, still doing the same thing, just in the ocho grip, right? Okay? Let's pick up another hoop. Whew. Now I'm going to iso flower, so sloppy, while I do this, okay? So it's just an idea of adding on hoops into normal stuff that we do too, okay? But let's throw 4 in there, okay? So, we're not done. Oh my god, that's a lot of stuff. We also talked about this grip switch, or this ocho switch. I don't know, it's kind of like a closed, it's just like this, except for kind of like this, okay? So we hold it here, flip it over, choose one. Fingers or thumbs, either one, doesn't matter. Let go of one, re-grab it. Doesn't matter. Does not matter which one you do. Fingers, thumbs. Okay, now, instead of just moving in a line or moving statically, we're going to do the same thing, but isolate.
Oh, nice.
Right? Okay, so it doesn't matter. I can let go of my fingers or my thumb here. Fingers, thumb. Okay. Now when you get to the other side, do the same thing for the bottom half. Okay? And where are those? If we switch fingers and thumbs for each movement, we get a nice isolation versus cat-eye. Right? Okay, does everybody see that? But if we do the same one, like if I let go of my finger every time, it switches which one isos, right? So, blue, yellow, You get the idea. And then do a 4. Oh my God. Okay? We're doing the straight ones, right? Or we're doing